Every night holds a new story. Drift into the unknown. Like, subscribe, and let the shadows speak. You are not waking, not really. It is more like a slow surfacing, a gentle rise from the deep, quiet waters of sleep into a state of soft awareness. There is no alarm, no sudden sound to pull you from your rest. There is only the faintest shift in the air, a subtle change in the low, steady hum that is the constant, comforting breath of your vessel, the stillness. You'll feel it in your bones, a vibration so gentle, it is more a feeling of peace than a sound. You are floating, suspended in the velvet black of deep space, and here, in your small bunk, you are safe. Let your awareness settle into this feeling of safety. Notice the weight of the blanket that covers you. It is heavy, but not confining. It is a soft, reassuring pressure, a gentle anchor in the quiet of your cabin. Feel the texture of the sheets against your skin, smooth and cool. They are made of a simple, natural fibre that holds a familiar scent, the clean, faint aroma of home. There is no need to move, no need to do anything at all. Simply be here, in this moment, held by the quiet dark. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel the cool air enter through your nose, a clean, filtered air that carries no scent of the world you left behind. Hold it for just a moment, feeling the stillness within you, and then let it go. A long, slow exhale. As you breathe out, feel any lingering tension in your shoulders begin to soften. Feel the muscles in your jaw relax. Let your body grow heavier, sinking deeper into the soft mattress beneath you. Another breath in, slow and easy, and another breath out, even slower this time. The ship breathes with you. Its gentle hum rises and falls in the same peaceful rhythm, a constant companion in the vast, silent ocean of stars. Your thoughts may still drift, like motes of dust in a sunbeam, catching the light of memory or worry. That is okay. Let them come, and then let them go. Acknowledge them without holding on. Imagine each thought is a small, smooth stone. You can pick it up, feel its weight for a moment, and then gently place it down on the riverbank, letting the current of your breath wash it clean. There is nothing you need to solve tonight, nothing you need to plan. Your only task is to rest. Your body knows this. Feel the gentle pull of sleep still at the edges of your mind. It is a pleasant, weighty feeling, like the soft tug of a tide. You can let it pull you back under whenever you are ready. But for now, just enjoy this peaceful space between waking and dreaming. Let your attention drift down from your shoulders, down your arms to your hands. Notice how they rest, perhaps curled loosely at your sides or folded over the soft blanket. Feel the warmth in your palms, the slight tingle in your fingertips. There is no need to clench them, no need to hold on to anything. Let them be soft and open. Now, bring your awareness to your chest, with a slow, steady rise and fall with each breath. It is the rhythm of life, the quiet engine that powers your own small vessel through the universe. Feel the gentle beat of your heart, a steady, reliable drum in the deep silence. It is a sound of profound peace. Here, millions of miles from everything you once knew, you are not alone. You are accompanied by the quiet, faithful rhythm of your own body, a universe of life within you, floating through the universe without. The darkness in your cabin is not absolute. A single soft line of light glows along the floor, a pathway from your bunk to the main cabin. It is a warm, amber colour, designed to be gentle on eyes that have been closed in sleep. It casts no harsh shadows, it simply is. A quiet promise of safe passage should you choose to rise. For a few more moments, you remain still, simply observing this gentle light, this soft hum, this feeling of being perfectly, peacefully suspended in time and space. You decide to rise, not from any sense of obligation, but from a gentle, quiet curiosity. You move slowly, the blanket sliding away when a soft whisper at the fabric. The air in the cabin is cool, but not cold, maintained at a perfect temperature for rest. You swing your legs over the side of the bunk, and your bare feet meet the floor. It is not cold metal, but a soft, yielding material that feels like thick wool under your soles. It is another small comfort, another detail designed to make this small ship feel less like a machine and more like a home. You stand, and the movement is slow, deliberate. Your body feels rested, loose. You stretch your arms overhead, a silent, satisfying pull through your muscles. The only sound is the soft creak of the bump, a familiar and friendly noise. You are the only source of movement here, the only living, breathing thing to disturb the perfect stillness. And in this solitude, there is no loneliness. There is only a profound and complete sense of peace. You are the archivist, and this is your sanctuary. You pad softly across the floor, following the amber line of light out of your small sleeping alcove and into the main cabin of the stillness. The space is not large, but it feels open and uncluttered. It is a single round room, like the inside of a smooth, polished seed pod. The walls are not sterile white panels, but are lined with a dark, warm material that looks and feels like aged wood. It is a clever illusion, a simple technology that brings a touch of the organic to this most inorganic of places. The soft, ambient light seems to emanate from the walls themselves, giving the entire space a gentle, welcoming glow. In the center of the room is a single chair. It is old and well-worn, made of soft, cracked leather. It has molded to the shape of your body over countless hours of quiet observation. It faces the ship's most important feature, the viewport. Unlike the cramped, rectangular windows of other vessels, the viewport of the stillness is a vast, seamless oval that takes up nearly half of the forward wall. It is a perfect, clear eye looking out into the universe. Right now, it shows only the deep, star-dusted black of interstellar space. You walk towards it, your bare feet silent on the soft rug that covers the floor. You run a hand along the back of the chair, the leather cool and smooth beneath your palm. Everything here is familiar. Everything here is yours. There are no unnecessary objects, no clutter to distract the eye or the mind. On one curved wall, a single shelf holds a small collection of physical books, their paper pages a quiet rebellion against the digital world. On another, a small galley unit is recessed into the wall, ready to produce a warm drink with a quiet hum. This is your space, a place of solitude and contemplation, a place for an observer. Your purpose is simple, and it is a purpose you chose. You are the archivist of quiet places. You do not seek out great events, galactic conflicts, or the busy hubs of civilization. You seek the opposite. You seek the silent corners of the galaxy, the forgotten nebulae, the spaces between the noise. Your task is not to interfere, not to analyze, but simply to witness, to be present, and keep a record, not of data and measurements, but of feelings, of colors, of the silent poetry of the cosmos. Your log is not a screen. It is a single, thick, leather-bound book that rests on a small table beside your chair. Its pages are empty, waiting. Sometimes you write in it. Sometimes you draw. And sometimes you simply sit with it open on your lap, letting the view from the window fill the pages for you. It is a slow, patient work, a life's work. It is a task that requires no urgency, no deadline. It requires only your quiet, focused attention. You move to the small galley and place your hands on the smooth, cool surface. You think of a warm drink, something simple and comforting. A soft chime answers you, and a moment later, a ceramic mug slides from a hidden recess. It is warm to the touch, filled with a simple herbal tea. The aroma is faint but pleasant, a scent of chamomile and soft spices. You lift the mug to your lips and take a slow sip. The warmth spreads for you, a gentle, pleasant heat that settles deep in your chest. It is another small ritual, another anchor to the present moment. Holding the warm mug in both hands, you walk the few steps to your chair and settle into its familiar embrace. A leather sighs softly as it takes your weight. You curl your feet up beneath you, tucking the soft blanket from your bunk around your legs. You are a small island of warmth and comfort in a vast, cool ocean of space. You take another sip of tea and turn your gaze to the viewport, to the endless night outside. The stars are a fine, shivering dust scattered across black velvet. They are not the harsh, flickering points of light you might see through a thick atmosphere. Here, in the perfect clarity of the void, they are steady, serene, and ancient. They shine with a pure, unwavering light. Some are a brilliant diamond white. Others have a hint of blue, like chips of ice. And some, the older, cooler stars, glow with a soft ember red. They are not crowded together. They are separated by unimaginable distances, each one a solitary beacon in the darkness. You know the names of many of them, the constellations they form from the perspective of a world you left long ago. But here, that perspective is gone. The familiar shapes have dissolved. You are seeing them as they truly are. A three-dimensional field of suns. A forest of light stretching away from you in all directions. It is a view that strips away old stories and leaves only the quiet, breathtaking truth of what is. And you, the archivist, are here to witness it. The stillness moves, but you cannot feel it. There is no vibration of engines, no sense of acceleration. The ship's propulsion is a secret as old as the vessel itself, a technology that works in harmony with the fabric of space-time, bending it gently rather than pushing against it. It is a silent, seamless glide. The only way you know you are moving is by watching the stars. Very, very slowly, they drift across the viewport. A distant blue giant that was on the far left edge of your vision an hour ago is now slightly closer to the center. A faint, reddish star has slipped out of view. It is a pace that suits you, pace that allows for contemplation. You remember seeing images of your homeworld from this vantage point, a tiny, fragile marble of blue and white suspended in the dark. The pale blue dot, a philosopher once called it, a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. Seeing it from so far away did not make you feel small or insignificant. It made you feel a sense of profound peace, a connection to the immense quiet whole. It was that feeling that set you on this path, the path of the archivist. To seek out not the noise of life, but the deep, resonant silence of the universe that holds it. You finish your tea, the last warm sip a pleasant memory on your tongue. You place the empty mug on the small table beside your logbook. You do not feel the need to write yet. For now, it is enough to simply watch, to let the slow, silent dance of the cosmos unfold before you. The ship glides on, a tiny, silent seed of warmth and life drifting through the endless, beautiful garden of the night. For a time, you simply sit. You let your eyes adjust to the deep dark, allowing the fainter stars to emerge from the blackness. A whole new layer of light reveals itself. A delicate web of distant galaxies and ancient suns, their light having traveled for millions of years to reach your window. It is a humbling sight, a reminder of the immense scale of time and space. The quiet in the cabin deepens, and the only sound is the soft, rhythmic whisper of your own breath. Your journey for the past few cycles has been through a well-charted, though sparsely populated sector, a quiet backwater of the galaxy. The ship's navigation system, a silent partner in your travels, projects a faint holographic map in the air beside your chair if you ask it to, but you prefer not to. You prefer the surprise of discovery, the gentle wonder of seeing something new for the first time. Your path is guided not by a destination, but by a feeling. You are drawn to areas of stillness, to places that other travelers might pass by without a second glance. You have drifted through the empty spaces between the spiral arms of a galaxy, where the stars are few and the silence is profound. You've skirted the edges of vast ancient nebulae, watching their slow, swirling colours from a safe distance. Today, you feel a gentle pull towards a region known for its unusual celestial bodies, a place of cosmic curiosities. Slowly, the view in the viewport begins to change. The uniform scattering of stars gives way to a more complex scene. You are approaching a planetary system, but one unlike any you have seen before. The central star is a faint tall dwarf, casting a soft silvery light. But it is the moons that capture your attention. There are dozens of them, small, irregular bodies that dance in slow, graceful orbits. You guide the stillness closer, its silent drive carrying you into their midst like a curious fish exploring a coral reef. One moon drifts by that looks like a giant porous sponge. Its surface is a chaotic jumble of deep overlapping craters, giving it a soft, almost organic appearance. It tumbles slowly, end over end, a silent, pockmarked relic of some ancient cosmic collision. This is a place of deep shadow and soft, reflected light. You watch it for a long time, making a small, simple sketch in your logbook. You do not record its mass or its orbital velocity. You record the feeling it gives you, a sense of immense age, of quiet resilience, a forgotten piece of a much larger story, now resting peacefully in the gentle light of its parent star. Another moon comes into view, and this one makes you smile. It is shaped like a perfect, smooth skipping stone, or perhaps a flying saucer from some old, fanciful story. A thin, sharp ridge runs around its equator, a delicate belt of ice and dust collected from the faint rings of the gas giant it orbits. It is a sculptor of rings, a tiny, silent artist shaping its environment with its gentle, persistent gravity. You watch as it glides through a faint, almost invisible wisp of ring material. The tiny particles of ice are nudged by the moon's passing, creating soft, shimmering waves that spread out behind it, like the wake of a boat on a still lake. It is a silent, beautiful dance, a subtle interaction between gravity and light. You add another sketch to your log, this one of the gentle waves, as shimmering ripples in the starlight. You feel no desire to land, to take samples, to analyze. That is the work of others. Your work is to see, to appreciate the quiet beauty of these forgotten corners. You're a visitor in a gallery of wonders, and it is enough to simply stand back and admire the art. The stillness drifts on, leaving the shepherd moon to its silent, endless work. The ship glides past a much larger moon, this one a perfect sphere of pale, icy blue. From a distance, it looks smooth and unblemished, like a polished marble. As you draw closer, you see that its surface is covered in a fine network of cracks, a delicate web of dark lines that crisscross the bright ice. They look like veins, or the intricate patterns of a frozen leaf. This is a water world, an ocean moon. Beneath that thick shell of ice lies a vast, dark ocean, larger than all the oceans of your homeworld combined. It is a place of profound mystery, a hidden world warmed not by the faint sun, but by the gravitational pull of its parent planet. What life might swim in those dark, silent waters? What strange, slow-growing things might cling to the underside of that icy ceiling? You do not know, and you are content not knowing. The mystery is part of the beauty. It is a secret the universe is keeping, and you are privileged to simply float by its door, to see the beautiful, intricate luck, and to feel a sense of wonder at what lies within. You trace the pattern of the cracks in your logbook, a map of a world you will never visit, but his quiet presence you will never forget. Leaving the system of the strange moons behind, you drift into a region as open space again. But this is different. The blackness here is deeper, more profound. You are approaching a dark nebula, a vast cloud of cold gas and dust that obscures the stars behind it. Other travelers might see this as an obstacle, a gloomy, empty void. But you see it for what it is, a place of ultimate quiet. The edge of the nebula is not a sharp alarm, but a soft, gradual fading of the light. The starfield thins, the distant points of light winking out one by one as the thick veil of the cloud drifts between you and them. It is like watching a slow, silent twilight fall over the cosmos. The darkness that grows before you is not empty. It is full of potential. It is a stellar nursery, a place where new stars are waiting to be born. In its cold, dark heart, gravity is slowly, patiently pulling together the raw materials of creation. You guide the stillness to a stop at the edge of this great, dark cloud. You do not enter. You simply float at its border, in a space between the light and the shadow. The viewport is now half filled with the brilliant diamond dust of the starfield, and half filled with a deep, soft, velvety blackness unlike any other. It is a place of perfect balance, a place of profound peace. You sit in your chair for a long, long time, watching the edge of the dark nebula. It is not entirely featureless. Here and there, the faint light of a few foreground stars illuminates wisps of the cloud, making them glow with a soft, brownish light. It is like seeing the faint outline of a mountain range at dusk. The shapes are subtle, ever-changing, as the cloud drifts and swirls in slow, silent currents. It is here, in this place of deep quiet, that you first notice it. It is not a sound. It is not a light. It is a feeling, a gentle, persistent hum that seems to come not from the ship, but from the space outside. It is a vibration so low and so subtle that you feel it in the soles of your feet and in the base of your skull before you consciously recognize it. It is a steady, resonant thrum, like the deepest note of a colossal organ, played so softly it is almost imperceptible. It is a sound of silence, a vibration in the very fabric of the void. You check the ship's sensors. They are designed for passive observation, to listen, not to transmit. And they are picking it up. On a visual display, a single pure sine wave pulses gently. A soft blue line, rising and falling in a perfect, peaceful rhythm. There is no alarm, no sense of danger. This signal is not a warning. It is not a distress call. It feels calm. It feels ancient. It is a quiet, steady heartbeat in the deep dark. Your own heart seems to sync with it, your breathing slowing to match its peaceful, rhythmic pulse. You are an archivist of quiet places, and you have found something new. A quietness that is not empty, but full. A silence that sings. Your curiosity is piqued, but it is a gentle curiosity, not a frantic need for answers. It is the quiet interest of a gardener who finds a strange new flower blooming in a forgotten corner of their garden. You want to see it more closely. You want to understand its nature. But there is no rush. Time here is measured in the slow drift of nebulae and the long, patient lives of stars. You watch the pulsing blue line on the screen for a while longer. The signal is unwavering, a constant, gentle call from the heart of the dark cloud. It is an invitation. You feel a quiet sense of purpose settle over you. This is why you are here, to find these places, to witness these gentle wonders, to listen to the silent songs of the universe. You place your hands on the smooth, cool controls of the ship's navigation system. They are not levers or buttons, but simple, touch-sensitive plates that respond to a lightest pressure. You think of a new course, a slow, gentle path into the dark nebula, following the signal to its source. The ship responds with the soft, affirmative chime. There is no lurch, no shudder, no sudden burst of acceleration. The view in the viewport simply begins to change. The half of the window that was filled with stars begins to shrink as the deep, velvety black of the nebula expands to fill your vision. The stillness is moving again, turning its nose away from the open star field and into the heart of the great cloud. The few stars that remain visible seem to soften, their light diffusing as the first thin tendrils of the nebula's dust drift past your window. It is like entering a soft, gentle fog. The world outside grows dimmer, quieter, more intimate. The only light now is the soft amber glow of your cabin and this steady, pulsing blue line on the navigation screen, your only guide in the gathering dark. As you drift deeper into the cloud, the last of the starlight fades away. You are now completely enveloped in the dark nebula. The viewport is a wall of pure, soft black. It is a darkness that feels ancient and profound, the darkness of creation itself. But it is not empty. It is filled with the gentle, resonant hum of the signal, which has grown slightly stronger, a warm vibration that seems to fill the cabin and surround you like a blanket. You feel a sense of calm anticipation. You are moving towards something, but you have no fear of what you might find. The signal is too peaceful, too serene to be a source of danger. It feels like a lullaby, a song the universe is singing to itself in this dark, quiet corner. You are simply a traveler who has been lucky enough to hear a tune. You make yourself another cup of warm tea, the familiar ritual, a comforting anchor in this strange new place. You settle back into your chair, wrapping the blanket around you once more. You are a seed of warmth and light, drifting through the cold, dark soil where stars are born. And you are listening to the quiet, ancient music of the void. The journey through the dark cloud is a long one. Time loses its meaning. There is no day or night, only the constant, soft blackness outside and the steady amber glow within. You sleep when you are tired. You eat when you are hungry. You spend long hours in your chair, simply being present, feeling the gentle thrum of the signal as it guides you deeper and deeper into a mystery. Sometimes you close your eyes and just listen. You listen to the hum of the ship, the whisper of the air recyclers, the slow beat of your own heart. And beneath it all, you listen to the signal, the deep, resonant pulse that is now a constant, comforting presence. It feels like the ship itself has a heartbeat, a slow, steady rhythm that rocks you gently as you travel. You do not feel lost. You do not feel alone. You feel as though you are exactly where you are supposed to be. An archivist of quiet places, drawn to the quietest place you have ever known. You are content. You are at peace. The stillness glides on, a silent pilgrim on a journey to the heart of the night. Then, after a period of travel you can no longer measure, you see it. A change in the darkness ahead. It is not a light, not yet. It is a subtle thinning of the blackness, a hint of something different on the edge of your vision. A faint silvery sheen, like a reflection on still water at midnight. The signal is growing stronger, the vibration more distinct. You are getting closer. You lean forward in your chair, your teacup forgotten on the table beside you. Your full attention is on the viewport. The silvery sheen grows, resolving itself into a shimmering gossamer curtain. It seems to hang in the void ahead of you, a vast, translucent veil that ripples with a soft internal light. It is beautiful, ethereal, and utterly silent. This is the edge of your destination. The dark nebula was not empty. It was a shell, a protective layer around this new hidden wonder. The signal is coming from beyond that shimmering curtain. With a sense of quiet awe, you guide the stillness forward, moving slowly towards the light, ready to see what secret the darkness has been holding. As the stillness approaches the shimmering veil, you see that it is not made of gas or energy. It is made of dust, a fine, glittering dust of microscopic crystals, each one catching and refracting some unseen internal light. They swirl in slow, gentle eddies, like snowflakes in a calm winter sky. The ship passes through the veil without a sound, without a tremor. One moment you are in the soft black of the dark nebula, the next you are inside. The change is breathtaking. You are no longer in darkness. You are in a place of soft, ambient light. The universe outside your window has transformed. You are floating in the heart of a new kind of nebula, one made not of gas, but of crystal. Vast, silent structures of pure, translucent crystal drift all around you. They are the size of mountains, of moons. Some are sharp and geometric, perfect pyramids and cubes of flawless chords. Others are organic and flowing, like frozen waves of glass. Starlight from some distant hidden source filters through them, breaking into 1,000 soft rainbows, a gentle, ever-changing kaleidoscope of colour that fills the space around you. The hum is everywhere now. It is not a sound you hear with your ears, but a feeling that resonates in your very atoms. It is the song of the crystals, the vibration of their immense ancient structures. It is a song of peace, of stillness, of deep, dreamless sleep. You have found the source of the signal. You have found the heart of the quiet. You let the ship drift, its engines now completely silent. You are a tiny mote of dust floating through a celestial geode. The light is soft, diffuse, a gentle glow that seems to come from all directions at once. Pale blues, soft lavenders, gentle greens, and warm pinks wash over the hull of the stillness, painting your small cabin in shifting, dreamlike colours. You feel a sense of wonder so profound it leaves you breathless. This place is not on any map. It is a secret the galaxy has kept for aeons. And you, the quiet observer, have been invited inside. You reach for your logbook, your fingers tracing the smooth letter of its cover. You need to record this, not with words, not with data, but with colour, with the feeling, with the silent awe that fill your heart. You begin to guide the stillness on a slow, meandering path through this crystalline wonderland. There is no hurry. You have all the time in the universe. You drift through vast canyons formed by the walls of two colossal interlocking crystals. The surfaces are not perfectly smooth, but are covered in intricate fractal patterns, like the frost on a window pane, but on a scale that dwarfs mountains. Light plays in these canyons in the most extraordinary ways. Beams of pure coloured light, refracted by the crystal walls, crisscross the space like the pillars of a silent, luminous cathedral. You pass through a beam of soft, rose-coloured light, and your cabin is filled with its warm, gentle glow. Then you drift into a beam of deep, tranquil blue, and the atmosphere becomes cool and serene. It is a slow, silent ballet of light and colour, and you are the only audience. You feel a sense of profound gratitude. To be here, to see this, is a gift beyond measure. You let the ship drift, content to be carried on the slow, silent currents of this magical place. As you explore deeper, you notice something even more remarkable. Floating in the spaces between the largest crystals are what look like slow-moving rivers. They are not made of water, but of light. Millions upon millions of tiny, bioluminescent organisms, no bigger than grains of sand, flow together in vast, glowing currents. They are a soft, greenish blue, the colour of a moonlit sea. These rivers of living light drift in graceful looping paths through the crystal labyrinth. They illuminate the darkest spaces, casting a gentle moving glow on the crystal surfaces. You watch, mesmerized, as a current of light flows over a massive dark amethyst crystal, its purple facets shimmering as the tiny creatures drift past. This place is not dead, it is alive. It is a self-contained ecosystem, a world of silent, gentle life that has evolved in this impossible, beautiful environment. These tiny creatures, these extremophiles, have found a way to thrive in the vacuum of space, drawing energy not from a sun, but from the resonant hum of the crystals themselves. They are part of the nebulous song, a living harmony in the crystal symphony. You follow one of the glowing rivers, letting it guide your ship through the crystalline maze. It leads you to a vast open cavern in the heart of the nebula, a space so large that the stillness feels like a single grain of pollen in a giant flower. And here, clinging to the surfaces of the crystal walls, are forests. They are not forests of trees, but of fungi, colossal, bioluminescent fungi that grow in strange, beautiful shapes. Some look like giant glowing fans, their edges frilled with a soft, pale light. Others rise in tall, slender stalks, topped with caps that pulse with a gentle greenish glow. They are a forest of living lamps, filling the vast cavern with a soft, ethereal light. You let the stillness drift to a halt in the center of this glowing, silent forest. The light from the fungi is steady and calm, a peaceful, living radiance. It feels ancient, wise, and profoundly tranquil. You feel as though you have stumbled into a sacred grove, a place of deep natural magic. You sit in your chair, bathed in the soft, green light, and simply breathe in and out, in perfect time with the gentle pulse of the forest around you. The air in your cabin seems to grow softer, warmer. The gentle hum of the crystals and the soft glow of the fungal forests combine to create an atmosphere of perfect peace. You feel your eyelids growing heavy, the pull of sleep returning, stronger now than before. This place is a lullaby for the soul. It is a place designed for rest. You can stay here forever, you think, just drifting in this silent, glowing cavern, watching the slow dance of the light rivers and the steady, peaceful glow of the crystal trees. There is nothing else you need, nothing else you desire. You have found the quietest, most beautiful place in the universe. You lean your head back against the soft leather of your chair and close your eyes. You do not need to see this place to feel its beauty. You can feel it in the gentle vibration that surrounds you, in the soft warmth that fills your cabin, in the profound sense of peace that settles over your heart like a soft, warm blanket. You are home. With your eyes closed, your other senses become more acute. You can feel the subtle texture of a leather against your cheek. You can smell the faint, clean scent of the ship's air. You can hear the almost inaudible whisper of your own breath. And beneath it all, you can feel the deep, resonant hum of the crystal nebula, a steady, calming presence that seems to be singing you to sleep. Your thoughts begin to drift, no longer sharp and clear, but soft and hazy, like the colours of the nebula itself. They are not worries or plans, but simple, gentle images. The slow tumble of the sponge-like moon, the shimmering wake of the shepherd moon, the intricate web-like cracks on the surface of the ocean world, the soft, velvety black of the dark nebula. Each memory is a smooth, polished stone, and you let it drift through your mind before letting it go, watching it sink into the deep, quiet waters of sleep. You are the archivist, and your logbook is full, not with words, but with feelings, with peace, with wonder, with the silent, beautiful music of the spheres. As you drift on the edge of sleep, a new image forms in your mind. It is of the crystal forests, but you are seeing them more closely now. You are seeing the details you missed before. Amidst the natural flowing shapes of the giant crystals and the glowing fungi, you begin to see patterns, straight lines, perfect curves, the unmistakable touch of intelligence. You are not just in a natural wonderland, you are in a garden. The garden that was planted and tended long, long ago. And as you drift deeper into this dream, you see the gardeners. They are not small, busy creatures. They are giants. Vast, sleeping giants, their bodies formed from the crystal itself. They are not frightening. They are serene. Their faces are calm, their eyes closed in a state of eternal, peaceful contemplation. They are not dead, they are dreaming. And this nebula, this entire world of light and crystal and silence, is their dream. You realize now what this place is. It is not a stellar nursery. It is not a graveyard of stars. It is a library, a sanctuary, a place where an ancient, wise civilization chose to end its long journey. They did not die. They did not leave. They simply became. They shed their physical forms and transformed themselves into this, a living, thinking, dreaming nebula. The hum you feel is their collective consciousness, a silent, peaceful thought that has been echoing through the ages. The crystals are their memories, their knowledge, their art, stored not on fragile pages or digital drives, but in the perfect, eternal structure of the crystal lattice. The bioluminescent rivers are their life force, flowing in gentle, endless cycles. You have not stumbled upon a ruin. You have entered a living monument, a place of profound, intentional peace. You are floating in the heart of a gentle, sleeping God, and you feel no fear, only a sense of deep, resonant belonging. You are a quiet observer, and you have found the ultimate object of contemplation. The knowledge settles into your mind, not as a shock, but as a quiet, peaceful truth. It is the final piece of the puzzle, and it clicks into place with a soft, satisfying hum. Your journey is complete. Your purpose is fulfilled. You have found the quietest place. You have witnessed its wonder. You have understood its nature. There is nothing left to do. No one to report to. This discovery is yours alone, a secret to be kept in the quiet archive of your own heart. The sleeping giants do not ask for anything. They do not need anything. They simply are. And they offer you the greatest gift they have, the gift of their peace. A deep sense of contentment washes over you, a feeling of coming home to a place you have never been before. You know, with a certainty that needs no words, that you will stay here. You will let the stillness find a quiet harbor in this crystal city, and you will become an observer in residence, a silent guardian of this sacred sleeping place. You open your eyes one last time. The soft, shifting colors of the nebula fill your viewport. The gentle green glow of the fungal forest bathes your cabin in a light that is both alive and deeply restful. You reach out a hand and place it on the navigation control. You think of a final destination, a small, sheltered cove between two colossal glowing crystals, a place where the rivers of light flow slowly past, a perfect, protected harbor. The stillness responds, its silent drive engaging for one last, gentle push. The ship glides slowly, gracefully into the chosen spot. The view from your window is now of a towering, lavender-colored crystal on one side and a soft, pulsing green fungal forest on the other. It is the most beautiful view you have ever seen. You watch for a moment longer, and then you give the ship your final command. Not with your hands, but with your thoughts. A command for deep, quiet rest. One by one, the ship's systems begin to power down. The soft amber light along the floor fades to black. The hum of the aerocyclers softens to an almost inaudible whisper. The only light left is the gentle, ethereal glow from the nebula outside. The only sound is the deep, resonant hum of the sleeping giants, a cosmic lullaby to guide you into your own deep sleep. The silence in the cabin is now almost absolute. It is a deep, peaceful and welcoming silence. It is the silence of a world that has found its perfect final form. It is the silence of a mind that has let go of all its worries, all its questions, all its striving. It is the silence of deep, dreamless, restorative sleep. You feel the last vestiges of your wakefulness dissolve. You are no longer the archivist. You are no longer an observer.
You are simply a part of this place now. A small, warm, sleeping presence in the heart of the great sleeping dream. You sink into the darkness, into the quiet, into the profound and perfect peace of the crystal nebula. You are at rest.
The world was soft here. It was a world of gentle curves and muted colours, a place that existed just beyond the edge of waking. You are here now, in this quiet place. Your name for now is Kale, and you are the keeper of this library. There is no need to remember where you came from. That life is a distant shore, and you are adrift on a calm, quiet sea. All that matters is the sand beneath your feet, the cool air on your skin, and the profound silence that holds you like a blanket. You are standing at the entrance to a vast cavern. The opening is a perfect arch, carved by wind and time, from sandstone the colour of dried honey. Outside, a perpetual twilight reigns. 2 moons, one a sliver of pearl, and the other a full orb of soft lavender, hang motionless on a sky of deep indigo, scattered with dustings of silver stars. There is no sun here. There is no harsh light. There is only the gentle, diffused glow that filters into the library. You take a step inside, and your bare feet sink into the sand. It is not coarse, gritty sand. It is a fine, silken powder, cool to the touch, the consistency of flour. It makes no sound as you walk, save for a faint, breath-like shush that is more felt than heard. The air within the cavern is still and cool, carrying the keen, ancient scent of stone and dust, and something else, something like the smell of old paper and dried flowers, though neither exists here. You are wearing simple, soft robes of an undyed fabric that flows around you as you move. The purpose of your existence here is simple, and it fills you with a quiet sense of contentment. You are the librarian. Your task is not to read books, but to listen to them. Your task is to keep the quiet, to walk the aisles, and to ensure the stories are at peace. You begin your nightly ritual, a slow, meandering walk through the heart of the library. The cavern is immense, larger than any cathedral you could imagine. Its ceiling is so high that it vanishes into darkness, but you know that it is a dome of glittering quartz, which catches the faint moonlight and scatters it downwards in a soft, ethereal rain of light. This light is just enough to see by, painting everything in shades of silver and grey. The library's shelves are not made of wood. They are natural ledges and alcoves in the cavern walls, rising in tiers that disappear into the shadows above. And on these shelves, nestled in soft hollows of sand, are the books. But they are not books of paper and ink. The books are spheres of glass. They range in size from small marbles to orbs as large as your head. Each one is unique. Some are perfectly clear, seeming to hold nothing but a trick of the light. Others are filled with swirling colours, mists of gold and sapphire and emerald that drift and turn with an impossibly slow grace. Some contain miniature landscapes, a single perfect snowflake suspended in its centre, or a tiny, intricate tree made of frost. These are the stories. Each sphere holds a memory, a dream, a moment captured and preserved in crystalline silence. They are the collected tales of 1,000 worlds, 1,000,000 lives, all gathered here in this quiet place. Your path is a familiar one. You drift between the low, sweeping shelves of rock, your hand trailing lightly against the cool stone. The silence here is not empty. It is filled with a low, subtle hum, the collective energy of all the stories sleeping on the shelves. If you close your eyes and truly listen, you can almost feel it, a gentle vibration in the air, in the sand, in the bones of the earth. It is the sound of peace. You pass a small, clear sphere containing a single drop of what looks like liquid silver. You remember its story, the tale of a single tear shed by a star. You drift past another, a large orb filled with a deep oceanic blue. Inside, a slow, lazy current of light ebbs and flows. Its story is of a lightkeeper's dream, of watching over a sea of liquid moonlight. You know these stories not because you have read them, but because you have listened. You have held them in your hands and felt their whispers seep into your soul. Your role is not to catalogue or to organise. The library organises itself. Stories that are similar find their way to each other, clustering on shelves in quiet companionship. A sphere containing the memory of a child's first laugh might find itself nestled beside one holding the feeling of warm sun on a cat's fur. A story of a lonely mountain peak will sit beside the memory of a silent, deep space voyage. There is a logic to it, a gentle, unspoken poetry that you have come to understand. Tonight, however, something feels different. A new whisper has joined the gentle chorus of the library. It is faint, a single, clear note in the deep and layered silence. It is the whisper of a new arrival. A new story has found its way here. You pause, standing perfectly still in the center of a vast open space in the cavern floor. You close your eyes, letting the familiar hum of the library wash over you, trying to isolate the new sound, the new feeling. It is not a sound for the ears, but for the soul. A pull, a gentle tugging in the quiet corners of your awareness. It calls to you from the deeper, less walked sections of the library, where the shelves are higher and the shadows are softer. You turn your feet in that direction, your steps measured and calm. There is no hurry. A new story is a patient thing. It has travelled from an unimaginable distance, across time and space, to find its way to this haven. It will wait for you. Your path takes you towards the back of the cavern, where a great curtain of hanging moss, glowing with a soft phosphorescent light, veils a series of smaller alcoves. The moss gives off a faint, sweet scent, like damp earth and honey. The light it casts is a gentle green, painting a sand and stone in shades of jade and seafoam. The whisper is stronger here, clearer. You part the curtain of glowing moss. The strands are cool and soft against your hands, like fine damp silk. Behind it lies a small circular chamber you have not visited in a long time. The air here is even cooler, and the silence more profound. In the centre of this chamber, a single thin pillar of rock rises from the sandy floor, and atop it, nestled in a perfect bed of silvery dust, is the new arrival. It is a sphere no larger than your cupped hands. For a long moment, you simply stand and look at it, observing. It is different from the others. Most spheres contain colours or mists. This one appears to be made of solidified twilight. Its surface is a deep, dusky violet, the colour of the sky just after the last light has faded. And deep within, a single tiny point of light pulses with a slow, steady rhythm, like a distant sleeping heart. The whisper comes from this sphere. It is a sound like the rustle of dry leaves in a gentle wind, or the sigh of a tide receding from a lonely shore. It is a sound of immense peace, of solitude, but not of loneliness. It is a story of quiet contentment. You approach the tiller, your bare feet making no impression on the silvery dust that carpets the floor here. The dust seems to shimmer in response to your presence, rising in slow, lazy swirls around your ankles. You reach out, your hands moving with practiced slowness, and gently lift the sphere from its resting place. The sphere is unexpectedly warm. It feels like a smooth, polished river stone that has been lying in the sun all day. The warmth spreads from your palms up into your arms, a comforting, gentle heat. The tiny light within it pulses in time with your own slow heartbeat, a soft golden glow that illuminates the dusky violet glass from within. You cradle the sphere in your hands and find a comfortable place to sit at the base of the rock pillar, your back resting against the cool, smooth stone. You draw your robes around you and settle into the silvery sand, the curtain of glowing moss casting a gentle green luminescence over you. Here, in this private, quiet space, you prepare to listen. To listen, you do not place the sphere to your ear. Instead, you simply hold it. You close your eyes, quiet your mind, and let your awareness sink into the object in your hands. You match your breathing to the slow, pulsing light within the orb. In, and the light brightens softly. Out, and it ems. In and out, you feel the boundary between your hands and the smooth glass begin to blur. The warmth of the sphere seems to flow into you, and your own stillness seems to flow into it. You are no longer just the librarian holding a book. You are becoming part of a story itself. The whispers begin to form words, not in your ears, but in the deepest part of your mind. The story begins not with a sight or a sound, but with a feeling. It is the feeling of being very, very old. Not a frail, weary age, but a deep, solid, patient age, like that of a mountain or a great, slow river. You feel the weight of countless seasons, the memory of snows melting, of suns warming, of rains falling. It is a feeling of being rooted, of being still and watchful. Then a sense of place begins to form around you. You are in a forest, but not a forest of green. You are a tree. Your bark is a mosaic of silver and grey, and your roots run deep into cool, dark earth. You cannot see, but you can feel. You can feel the gentle stir of the wind through your leaves, each one a tiny, triangular sliver of dark crystal. When the wind moves, they do not rustle. They create a soft, delicate chime, 1,000 tiny notes that hang in the still air. This is the Christie Forest. The whisper tells you its name. The ground is not soil, but fine, dark sand. The other trees around you are also made of crystal and stone and metal. A slender, willow-like tree made of hammered copper weeps strands of verdigris. A short, gnarled oak is carved from obsidian, its leaves of polished jet. There is no life here in the way one might normally understand it, but everything is alive with a slow geologic pulse. You feel the passage of a day, though there is no sun. The light in the crystal forest comes from the sky itself, which is a soft, unchanging pearlescent grey. A day is simply a slow brightening of this ambient light, and a night is a slow, gentle dimming. As the light waxes, the crystal leaves on your branches catch it and fracture it into 1,000 tiny rainbows that dance on the dark, sandy ground. As the light wanes, the forest becomes a silhouette of dark shapes against a glowing sky. There are no animals here. There are no birds. The only sound is the gentle, random chiming of the crystal leaves as an unfelt breeze drifts through the forest canopy. The story is one of profound peace. It is the joy of stillness, the contentment of being exactly what you are, where you are. There is no desire to move, no need to speak, no goal to achieve. There is only the simple, beautiful existence of being a silver-barked tree in a forest of crystals. You feel the slow, methodical process of growth. Over an immense span of time, you feel one of your branches extend millimeter by millimeter, reaching towards the light. A new leaf bud forms at its tip, a tiny hard crystal that slowly, over cycles of light and dark, unfurls into a new, perfect sliver of resonant crystal. When it finally opens fully, its first chime joins the chorus of the forest, a single, new, clear note adding its voice to the ancient song. A memory within the sphere shifts. You are no longer the tree. Your perspective drifts away, floating upwards like a loose leaf, until you are looking down upon the crystal forest from above. From this vantage point, it is a breathtaking sight. It is a landscape of muted, metallic colours and shimmering crystalline forms. The copper willows cast a pale green light. The obsidian oaks seem to drink the ambient glow, and the silver trees, like the one you just were, glitter and shine with a soft internal light. The whisper in your mind is no longer about the feeling of being a tree, but about the forest as a whole. It tells you that this place is a memory of a world where thoughts could take root and grow. Each tree is a single contemplative thought, nurtured over eons until it became a physical thing. The silver tree was a thought of stillness. The copper willow, a thought of gentle sorrow. The obsidian oak, a thought of deep and dreamless sleep. You drift over the forest, a silent observer. You see a grove of trees made of pure clear quartz that chime with a sound like ice in a glass. They represent a thought of perfect clarity. You see a single towering tree of iron, rusted deep orange, that gives off no sound at all. It is a thought of stubborn, unchangeable belief. The forest is a library of a different kind, a catalogue of moods and ideas given physical form. Now a new element enters the memory, a river. It does not flow through the forest, but above it. A slow, wide ribbon of shimmering, weightless liquid moves through the upper branches of the crystal trees. It is a river of pure starlight, a collection of distant, forgotten suns flowing in a silent, majestic current across the pearlescent sky. As the river of starlight passes over the trees, its light filters down through their crystalline leaves. The light that touches the silver trees becomes sharp and clear. The light that falls through the copper willows turns a soft, mournful blue. The quartz grove fractures the starlight into a dazzling, slow-motion cascade of rainbows that drift to the forest floor like luminous snow. The story you are witnessing is the interplay between the thoughts, the trees, and the dreams, the river of starlight. It is a silent, beautiful conversation. The stillness of the forest gives the river of dreams a place to be seen, and the river gives the silent, rooted trees a changing, moving cloak of beauty. The sphere in your hands grows warmer. The little light at its heart pulses a little brighter. This is the core of the memory, the reason it was saved. This moment of perfect, silent harmony. The perspective shifts one last time. You are no longer above the forest, but within the river of starlight itself. You are a single, flowing particle of light. You have no thoughts, no feelings, only a sense of purpose. To move, to flow, to be part of this great silent current. You drift with your countless brethren, a river of liquid quiet. Below you, the crystal forest passes in a slow, majestic procession. You are warmed by the proximity of a million other tiny lights, all moving together. There is a sense of community, of shared journey in this river. You are not alone. As you pass over the grove of quartz trees, your light is caught by one of the leaves. For a brief, beautiful moment, your being is split into its component colours. You are red and orange, and yellow and green, and blue and violet, all at once, scattered in a gentle shower onto the dark sand below. Then you coalesce, your colours weaving back together, and you rejoin the river, continuing your endless, silent journey. The experience is not frightening, it is wonderful. A momentary transformation, a brief sharing of your inner self, before becoming whole again. The memory is saturated with a feeling of gentle, selfless beauty. Slowly, gently, the story fades. The images of the crystal forest and the river of starlight recede, like a shoreline shrinking into the distance.
The whisper in your mind softens, becoming once again a sound of rustling leaves. The feeling of being a particle of light dissolves, and you are left with only the warmth of the sphere in your hands and the soft, pulsing glow of a tiny light within it. You open your eyes. You are back in the small, circular chamber, bathed in the green light of the glowing moss. The silvery sand shimmers around you. You take a slow, deep breath, a cool air of the library filling your lungs. You feel calm and centered and deeply peaceful. The memory of the crystal forest is now a part of you, a new, quiet room in the vast mansion at your mind. You look down at the sphere. The dusky violet glass seems to shimmer with a new depth. The little light inside pulses with its steady, contented rhythm. You have received its story. You have given it a home. Your work with this particular story is done. You gently press your forehead to the sphere's smooth surface, a silent gesture of thanks, and then you slowly, carefully get to your feet. It is time to find a place for the new arrival. You carry the sphere carefully in both hands, its warmth a comforting presence as you part the curtain of glowing moss and step back into the main cavern of the library. The vast, silent space welcomes you back. The low hum of a million sleeping stories seems to swell slightly in greeting. You do not consciously choose a shelf. Instead, you let the feeling of the story guide you. You walk slowly, letting your intuition pull you towards the right place. The memory of the crystal forest is one of profound stillness and quiet observation. It needs a place that reflects that. You are drawn to a low, secluded alcove near the cavern floor, a spot that the scattered light from the cord ceiling barely reaches. It is a place of deep shadows and soft silence. Here the spheres are mostly dark, containing memories of deep space, of the quiet at the bottom of the ocean, of the moment just before dawn. Here a cluster of spheres rests, each one holding a story of solitude. One contains the memory of a single ancient stone in an endless desert. Another holds the feeling of a forgotten song in an empty room. This is the right place.
You find a perfect empty hollow in the stone, lined with a thick layer of the softest sand. It seems to have been waiting for this very sphere. You gently kneel and place the twilight-coloured orb into its new home. It settles into the sand with a soft sigh. The tiny pulsing light within it seems to dim slightly, as if the sphere is settling down to sleep among its new companions. For a moment, you watch it. You see the faint light from a neighbouring sphere, one filled with a swirling, dark blue mist, cast a gentle reflection on its surface. You feel the stories acknowledging each other, their quiet energies mingling. The story of the crystal forest is no longer alone. It has joined the community of the library. It is one voice among many in the great silent chorus. A sense of deep satisfaction fills you. This is your purpose, not just to listen, but to provide shelter, to be the keeper of the quiet harbour where these weary, beautiful stories can finally come to rest. You have done your work well. Rising to your feet, you brush the fine sand from your robes and turn back toward the more open spaces of the library, leaving the new story to its peaceful slumber. The two moons, the pearl sliver and the lavender orb have shifted slightly in the sky outside, casting new long shadows across the library floor. Your nightly walk is not yet over. There is still work to be done, a gentle, meditative tidying that is part of your ritual. You retrieve a broom from its resting place against a smooth stone pillar. It is not a broom for vigorous sweeping. Its handle is a piece of smooth, pale driftwood, and its bristles are made from the softest, most pliable reeds. You do not sweep to remove the sand, for the sand is the floor, the foundation, the very essence of the library. You sweep to trace new patterns in it. You begin to walk a slow, circular path, the broom trailing behind you. The soft bristles create curving lines and gentle swirls in the silken powder. It is a form of meditation, a wordless conversation with the library. The patterns you create are temporary. A slight, unfelt breeze, or the simple passage of time, will soften their edges and eventually erase them, returning the sand to a smooth, unblemished canvas. But for now, they exist, a fleeting, personal mark of your presence, your care. The gentle, rhythmic shush-shush of the bristles on the sand is a comforting, hypnotic sound. As you sweep your patterns into the sand, you let your mind drift. You think about the crystal forest, its silent, chiming trees, and the river of starlight. The memory is clear and peaceful, a pleasant, low hum in the back of your awareness. You sweep a pattern of a winding river, and then a series of radiating lines, like the branches of a tree. You work your way through the great central chamber, your path spiraling slowly outwards. The air is cool on your face. The only light is the soft, scattered glow from the quartz ceiling high above. It is in this deep state of peaceful repetition that you notice it, a new sound. It is not the whisper of a new story arriving. This is different. It is a clear, melodic chime, a single, pure note that rings out in the vast silence, hangs in the air for a moment, and then fades completely. It is not like the chiming of the crystal leaves from the memory. This is real, and it is here, in the library with you. You pause your sweeping, holding the broom still, and you listen. For a long time, there is nothing but the familiar, deep silence. You wonder if you imagined it. You are about to resume your sweeping when it comes again. The same note. Clear, perfect, and resonant. It seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once, echoing softly off the distant cavern walls. It is a beautiful sound, not jarring or alarming in any way, but it is new. It is unexpected. In a place defined by its unchanging, gentle rhythms, any new element is a profound mystery. You place your broom back against its pillar and decide to investigate. You close your eyes again, as you did when searching for the new sphere, trying to get a sense of the sound's direction. It is not a whisper that pulls at your soul. It is a true sound wave traveling through the air. You concentrate, filtering out the low hum of the library, waiting. It comes a third time. Ting. This time you feel its origin. It comes from high above, from the upper shelves, the levels that are lost in shadow, the places you so rarely go. It is a call, an invitation, a sense of gentle curiosity, free from any wani or fear, blossoms within you. Something is waiting to be found. Your journey upwards begins. There are no stairs in the library. To reach the upper levels, one must use the footholds and handholds carved into the rock face itself. A slow, winding path that spirals up the cavern walls. The climb is not difficult, but it requires deliberate, mindful movement. You place your hands and feet on the cool, solid stone. The holds are worn smooth from centuries of use by librarians before you. Your ascent is slow and steady. As you climb, your perspective of the library flue changes. The patterns you swept into the sand become a beautiful, miniature map below you. The shelves of spheres become terraces of sleeping lights. The scale of the library reveals itself to you in a new way. It is even more vast than you had imagined. The air grows cooler as you climb higher. The scattered moonlight from the quartz ceiling seems to brighten as you are moving closer to its source. The chime does not sound again as you ascend. You climb in silence, focused in the feel of the stone under your fingers and the vast, quiet space below. You are not searching for an answer, only following a question. After a long, peaceful climb, you arrive on a wide ledge high up the cavern wall. This level is different from the ones below. It is narrower, and the stone here is darker, almost black. The air has a distinct, crisp scent, like the air after a thunderstorm. The library floor is a distant landscape of soft shadows and faint light,
You stand for a moment, letting your eyes adjust. The spheres on these shelves are sparse. They are mostly dark, containing memories of empty spaces and profound silence. But the chime did not come from a sphere. You sense that its source is something else entirely. You walk along the ledge, your bare feet on the cool, dark stone. The path leads you around a curve in the cavern wall and into a small, hidden grotto. And there, you see it. It is not a sphere. Hanging from a thin, almost invisible strand of what looks like spun moonlight is a single, long, elegant shard of pale blue glass. It turns slowly in the still air, and as it catches a stray beam of light from the ceiling, it emits the pure, clear chime you heard from below. Ting.
You approach the hanging shard with a sense of gentle reverence. It is beautiful. It is about the length of your forearm, thin and tapered to a soft point. Its color is the pale, clear blue of a winter sky at dawn. It seems to absorb the ambient light and glow from within. The strand it hangs from is impossibly thin, yet it holds the shard perfectly steady as it performs its slow, solitary pirouette. This is a different kind of story. You can feel it. Spheres hold moments, dreams, feelings. They are contained, complete. This shard feels more like a conduit, a channel. Its story is not held within, but flows through it. The chime is its voice. You reach out, not to touch it, but to hold your hand in the space just beneath it. You can feel a faint vibration in the air around it, a cool, clean entity. The chime was not an accident. It was a summons. It was waiting for you. You feel a sense of anticipation, a quiet excitement. You are about to learn something new about the library you call home. You settle onto the cool stone floor of the grotto, your gaze fixed on the slowly turning, gently chiming shard of blue glass. You do not hold the shard as you would a sphere. You simply sit before it, in quiet contemplation. You watch it turn, watch the light play across its pale blue facets. You listen to its periodic, gentle chime. It is like watching a pendulum, a slow and steady measure of a time that does not otherwise exist in this place. As you sit and watch and listen, the story begins to unfold. It does not come as a whisper in your mind, but as a change in the atmosphere around you. The air in the grotto grows cooler, and it begins to carry a new scent, the clean, sharp smell of salt and cold sea spray. The sound of the chime is joined by another sound, a deep, slow, rhythmic sigh, like the breathing of a vast and sleeping ocean. The walls of the grotto seem to recede, to dissolve into a dark, empty expanse. The floor beneath you is no longer stone, but something dark and shifting. You look down and see that you are sitting on the shore of a beach, and the sand is made of fine, black gravel that glitters like crushed stars. Before you lies a sea, a perfectly calm, endless ocean of liquid darkness. And above you, the sky is a star-dusted velvet black, unbroken by any moon. You are on the shore of the Sea of Tranquility. The name comes to you unbidden. There are no waves on this sea. The surface is as smooth and reflective as a mirror of black glass. The rhythmic sighing sound is not from waves crashing, but from the slow, cosmic tide, the entire sea rising and falling by a hand's breadth over the course of an hour. You look up at the sky. The stars are not the familiar silver dustings you see from the library's entrance. They are brilliant, sharp points of light in 1,000 different colors. There are fiery orange suns, cool blue giants, and soft yellow dwarfs. And they are not still. They drift slowly across the sky in great, silent, majestic currents, their reflections trailing across the surface of the dark water. The story of the blue shard is the story of this place. It is a memory of perfect calm, of immense scale, of silent, cosmic beauty. You feel a sense of profound awe.
but it is a gentle awe, one that fills you with peace rather than making you feel small. You feel as though you are a part of this scene, a silent witness meant to be here. You dip your hand into the water of the sea. It is not wet. It is cool and smooth like silk, and when you pull your hand out, it is perfectly dry, but it glitters with a fine coating of captured starlight, which slowly fades like evaporating dew. You scoop up a handful of the black gravel. It is smooth and cool in your palm, and it makes a soft, whispering sound as the grains shift against each other. You lie back on the beach of crushed stars, your head resting on your hands. You watch the slow dance of the coloured suns in the sky above. You watch a nebula of deep purple and magenta drift by like a cloud. You see a comet with a tail of pale green light trace a slow, graceful arc from horizon to horizon. There is no time here. There is only watching. There is only being. The story is an immersion in pure, uncomplicated peace. It is the feeling of being at the quiet center of the universe, where all the magnificent, chaotic motion of the cosmos becomes a slow, silent ballet. The gentle, rhythmic sigh of the cosmic tide is the only sound, a breath that is deep and slow enough to calm any troubled heart. Slowly, as gently as it arrives, the vision of the Sea of Tranquility begins to fade. The salt-scented air warms and returns to the familiar smell of cool stone. The sound of the cosmic tide recedes, leaving only the clear, singular chime of the blue glass shard. The beach of black gravel solidifies back into the dark stone floor of the grotto. You open your eyes. The hanging shard is still turning, still chiming, its pale blue form a beacon in the soft darkness. The experience was different from that of the sphere. The sphere took you into a memory. Shards seemed to bring the memory to you, transforming space around you. It was a window, not a container. You understand now. The library is more varied than you knew. It contains stories that are held and stories that are channeled, spheres and shards, memories and windows. This new knowledge settles within you, not as a shock, but as a pleasant, gentle extension of your way. The library has shared another of its secrets with you. You feel a quiet gratitude. You rise, give a soft nod to the chiming shard, and begin your slow, careful descent back to the library floor.
As you climb down the winding path on the cavern wall, the world below slowly grows to meet you. The library floor, which had seemed like a distant map, resolves back into a familiar landscape of sand and stone, and the feeling of the Sea of Tranquility lingers with you, a cloak of deep calm wrapped around your shoulders. When your feet touch the soft sand of the main floor once more, you feel a subtle shift in the library's atmosphere. The low, collective hum of the sleeping stories seems different. It is richer, more complex. It is as if the clear, high note of the chiming shard has woven itself into the deep, resonant chorus of the spheres. Drawn by a new sense of curiosity, you walk back towards the secluded alcove where you placed the sphere of the crystal forest. You want to see it again, to see if it has changed. You part the shadows and kneel before the shelf where it rests among the other stories of solitude. You look at the dusky violet orb with its single pulsing heart of light, and you see it, something new. Reflected on the smooth, dark surface of the sphere, there is now a tiny, moving image. It is faint, like a ghost of a memory. It is the image of coloured stars drifting across a sea of black glass. The story of the Sea of Tranquility is now reflected in the story of the crystal forest. You reach out and gently touch the sphere. As your fingers make contact, you feel not only the warmth of the sphere and the whisper of its own story, but also a faint, cool echo of the black gravel beach and the slow, sighing tide. The stories are communicating,
they are sharing with each other. A quiet, wonderful realization dawns on you. The library is not just a collection. It is not a warehouse for dormant memories. It is a living ecosystem. The stories don't just sleep here, they dream. And in their dreams, they visit one another. The stillness of the crystal forest has been touched by the silent, cosmic motion of the sea of tranquility. The iron tree of stubborn belief might now have the reflection of a drifting nebula in its rusted bark. The memory of a child's laugh might now carry a faint chime from the crystal leaves. You move through the library, from alcove to alcove, from shelf to shelf, your eyes now open to this new wonder. You see it everywhere. A sphere containing the feeling of warm sunlight now has a faint greenish glow reflected in it from the mossy curtain nearby. An orb holding the memory at a silent snowy field now has a subtle rhythmic pulse learned from the sphere of the crystal forest's sleeping heart. The library is a web of connections, a vast silent conversation. Each new story that arrives does not simply add its voice to the chorus, but changes the harmony of the entire soul. Your role, you now understand, is not just to be a keeper or a listener. You are a tender of this garden of dreams. By finding a home for a new story, you introduce a new element, a new color, a new note that enriches all the others. The chiming shard high above was not just a new story, it was a key. It unlocked a deeper understanding of this place. Its clear, high frequency resonated through the library, awakening this new level of connection, or perhaps awakening you to its constant, quiet presence. You feel a sense of belonging that is deeper and more profound than ever before.
You return to the center of the great cavern, to the spot where you had been sweeping your temporary patterns in the sand. You no longer feel the need to trace your own designs. The library itself is the most beautiful pattern, a living, breathing tapestry of interwoven dreams. You stand and simply listen, not for a new sound, not for a new story, but to the rich and complex harmony of the library as it is now. You can feel the slow, deep bass note of the oceanic spheres, the warm, mid-range hum of stories of sunlight and fields, and the high, clear overtones of the starlight memories and the chiming shard. It is a symphony of perfect, peaceful complexity. Your own quiet thoughts and feelings are a part of it too. Your sense of wonder, your deep contentment, your peaceful curiosity, they are threads in the tapestry. You are not separate from the library. You are a part of its consciousness, the part that is awake and aware, the part that can appreciate its own beauty. You are the library, experiencing itself. The lavender moon has now drifted to the center of the sky, visible through the cavern entrance, bathing the entrance hall in a soft, purplish light. A gentle, cool breeze, the first you have felt all night, drifts into the library, carrying the clean scent of the twilight desert. It stirs the fine sand, softening the edges of the patterns you made earlier, slowly returning the floor to its smooth, pristine state. The breeze seems like a signal, a gentle nudge. Your work for this cycle is complete. A new story has been welcomed and housed. A new secret of the library has been revealed and understood. A new level of harmony has been reached. It is time for you to rest. You find your own sleeping place, a simple alcove not unlike the ones that hold the spheres. It is carved into a low wall of sandstone with a deep bed of the same silken, cool sand that floors the entire library. There is no pillow, no blanket, only the soft sand that will shape itself to you and the gentle, humming silence of the library to cover you. You lie down in the sand and it cradles you perfectly. You close your eyes and the images of the night drift through your mind. The dusky violet sphere, the crystal forest,
the chiming shard of blue glass, the sea of tranquility, the interwoven light of dreaming stories. You take a slow, deep breath, and as you exhale, you feel yourself letting go. You are a story too, a story of a quiet keeper in a library of dreams. And as you drift towards sleep, you feel your own consciousness becoming a soft, warm glow, joining the million other lights on the shelves. Your dreams will mingle with theirs. You will dream of a crystal forest where the trees reflect a starlit sea, and the gentle sigh of a cosmic tide carries the faint, clear chime of blue glass. The hum of the library is your lullaby. You are at peace. You are home. You are drifting, drifting asleep.